So I will get started. Thanks for holding on there while I took care of that. So hello and welcome. If anyone here is new to me, my name is Sarah Kennedy. I'm a woman's sexuality, embodiment, and empowerment coach. And I currently have a course that is open for enrollment called Healing the Female Pain Body course. And I'm going to be talking about an important piece of the female pain body, how we project our pain onto men, how that feeds the pain body, and how it robs us of loving, intimate relationships. Hello for you joining live. Hello there. I don't know how to say your name. Izki? Probably totally saying that wrong, but hello and welcome. Okay. So, how we project our pain onto men, how doing so feeds the pain body, and how it robs us of loving, intimate relationships. So first, let me just define what I mean when I say pain body. Hello, thanks for the hearts. Thanks for joining live. For those of you that haven't seen any of my other live streams, let me just take a second and define what I mean when I say the female pain body. So what I'm talking about is the accumulation of emotional pain that is stored in the body that has never been processed through. So the emotional pain that you're carrying around with you. And this, when I say the female pain body, what I mean is the pain that is particular to the experience of being a woman. And for most women, there are three categories that create a heavy emotional pain body. And those are usually our relationships with men, our relationship with our sexuality, and our relationships with our mother. So that's what the female pain body is and where it comes from. And our female pain body can wreak havoc on our intimate relationships. It can wreak havoc on our life. It can wreak havoc on our friendships, but it particularly can wreak havoc on our intimate relationships with men. If you're a hetero woman and you date men and you have a pain body towards men, if you are carrying around anger towards men, grief towards men, rage towards men, resentment, disappointment towards men, that is going to impact your ability to have an intimate, loving relationship with a man. Okay, so how we project our pain onto men. I see this all the time, and I used to do this all the time. Everything I'm going to share in this live stream are things that I did myself. So it's a journey that I have walked myself and that I know how to heal from because I went on that healing journey for myself. So what happens is, as women, we usually have a few bad experiences with a few men or a couple men. Maybe we had a bad experience with our father. Maybe the first person we had sex with, the first man we had sex with, we had a bad experience with. Whatever it was, we have a bad experience with a couple of men. And then how the brain works, because the brain loves to categorize. It's always putting things into categories based on the strongest images that you have. So if you had a couple bad experiences with men, those become a strong image in your mind. And then what you do, at least what I did and what I see a lot of women doing, especially on Facebook, so much on Facebook. I see it so much on Facebook. I see it so much in the women's groups that I'm in, and I'm in a lot of women's groups. You take the bad experiences that you had with a couple of men and you project that onto men in general. And it goes from this man did this thing to men do this thing. This man hurt me in this way to men hurt me in this way. This man had this unhealthy behavior too. Men have this unhealthy behavior. And so you're suddenly projecting your experience with a couple of men onto half of the population. I see this all the time in Facebook. I was inspired to do this by a post I recently saw. And the post said something like, men, you've raped us, you've abandoned us, you've abused us. It's time for you to step up. That was, I'm not what it said verbatim, but it was something like that. It was something along those lines. No, that's not true. Men have not done that. A small percentage of men have done those things, and probably, hi Sarah, you look great. Aw, hi Auntie, thank you. Probably she had a bad experience with a couple of men in her life, but men did not do those things. Men do not do those things. Men in general do not do those things. A small percentage of men do. And this really takes some mind work to keep your mind from taking a few bad experiences with men and then projecting it onto all men. It's the mechanism really of a lazy mind, an unquestioned mind. And this happens everywhere. You see this everywhere. Like some people will see a couple of things, on TV, because TV likes to show you things that Black people, did wrong. And they'll see that image and then they'll suddenly project that image onto all Black people. And this is what women are doing to men. Projecting a painful image onto all men. So when you do that, there's two things that happen. One is it feeds the pain body. Because instead of being with the pain that you feel over your relationship with a couple of men, now the pain body has men in general to feed off of. It's like giving the pain body an all-you-can-eat buffet. Because now you're angry and pissed and hurt and disappointed in men in general. And it just feeds the pain body. And the idea with working with the pain body, if you're wanting to heal your pain body, one of the most important things is to stop feeding it. And we're going to talk a lot about that in my Healing the Pain Body course. I'm going to expose all of the ways that you're feeding your pain body and stop it. Because, well, if you want to stay in pain, that's your choice. If you want to stay angry at men, that's your choice. But if you want to choose something different, learning how to stop feeding the pain body around men is really important. Oh, thanks for all I'm getting so many emojis. I feel so loved. Okay. Okay, so when you project your pain onto all men, you feed the pain, you start a smorgasbord of more pain, and then you make it really hard for yourself to meet a good man, if that's what you're wanting. If you're wanting to meet a good man and you're projecting your pain onto men, you make it really, really hard for yourself to meet a good one. And it's not because there's a lack of good men in the world. That's not why you're having a hard time meeting a good man. I used to think this too. I was like, I can't, there's so few good men out there. Never gonna meet one. Ah, woe is me. That's how I used to feel. It's not true. When you're projecting your pain onto men, you don't see good men. And when you do have an interaction with a good man, you're not able to appreciate it because you're projecting your pain onto him. There are so many wonderful good men out in the world. When I went through the process of healing my pain body, I started to see that. And I was like, holy shit, I'm surrounded by good men. Really, really, really good men. And when I went through the process of healing my pain body, I met a really good man, and I'm in a relationship with the sweetest man on planet Earth. Like, really, I'm not exaggerating. There are so many good men out there, but you're blind to them when you're projecting your pain outwards. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions? Thumbs up if what I'm saying makes sense to you. I just have a little bit of notes to see, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so I talked about how we project our pain onto men in general, and then how doing that feeds the pain body and makes it difficult for us to meet good men, not because there's a lack, but because we can't see them. We're blind to them when we're in that state. It also causes us to not notice when a man has done something really beautiful for us. I'm going to give an example of that, actually. I was talking to someone who went to Burning Man, and a bunch of men had set up a camp where they let women come in and basically project their pain bodies on them to try and support them for healing. So it was set up where women could come in, and a man would just stand there and let her express all of her anger and her pain and her frustration and her tears and her disappointment at men. This was a whole camp. I've never been to Burning Man, a tent, I don't know. It was a thing at Burning Man. And when this woman was telling me about it, it was so sad, but the way that she was telling me about this was as if those men had owed her that. She never expressed any appreciation for that. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't let someone hold space for someone to project their pain about women on me. That was a huge gift those men gave. It's giving me tears. It's a huge gift. And she really wasn't able to appreciate it. She came from the place of they owed me that. They didn't owe her that. Those men hadn't done anything to her. So you really miss all of the beautiful gifts that men are willing to give you. And they're so willing. They really are so willing. All right, so the last thing is how projecting our pain on men robs us of loving, intimate partnership. So first off, like I said, it's hard to meet a good man when you're blind to good men. But if you're in a partnership with a man and you have a heavy pain body and you've projected that pain body onto all men, your partner is a man. So he's going to be one of the people that you project that pain body onto, no matter what he does or doesn't do. And you're going to have pain towards him that doesn't belong to him. A lot of women are just pissed off and angry all the time in their relationships, no matter what a man does. Who wants to be in a relationship with someone that's pissed off and angry at them all the time? And when you are projecting that pain onto him, you're going to treat him in painful ways. Things that are really common that women do in relationships when they have a heavy pain body, and I used to do all of these things. Criticize your man, he can never do anything right. Attempt to control him. I wrote a few more down. Withdrawing your love. And another one is punishing him. We do a lot of kind of passive aggressive punishment, often towards men. Like withholding sex. So it makes it very, very difficult to have a deeply intimate, loving relationship with a man if you have a lot of pain about men and you're projecting that onto men in general because you're going to project that onto your partner. Okay, I actually think that that was the points that I wanted to make. So if what I'm saying is resonating for you, my Healing the Female Pain Body course is open for enrollment. I'm very excited about it. A lot of women have already enrolled. There's a bonus. Oh, I'm going to put it in the comments. Oh no, that didn't work. There's a $497 bonus if you enroll by tomorrow. Hold on, I'm just trying to find the link. There we go. Okay, so I'm putting the link for the course in the comments. And this course is going to be like a surgical precision into healing the female pain body. I am really excited about it. Healing the female pain body is what enabled me to have the deeply intimate, loving, easy relationship that I have now. I could not have the relationship I have now if I hadn't taken the time to do that for myself. And I'm going to walk you through how to do this in the course. If group courses are not your thing, I do have some open slots available for private clients. And let me put that in the comments. There's an application that you fill out for that to have a conversation with me. Any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll go back and look. I may have missed some. Sorry, I know you can hear the typing and it's annoying. Okay, so the first link is for the course. Again, there's a bonus that ends tomorrow. Basically, you get another one of my courses called Have Sex Like a Goddess. It's a real deep dive into sexual healing. So you get that course if you enroll by tomorrow. Okay, let me see. Kylie says, I'm so excited. Yay, I'm so excited you're in the course. Yay for Kylie. Oh, and Kylie told, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. I don't think you will, but she told me she had to kind of work a little wobble to be a yes to it and look at take an honest look at some of her own feelings towards men. And it does take that. And I really appreciate that she shared that with me because it does take that. You are going to have to be willing to take full responsibility for your pieces on how you show up with men. Because there's a lot of stuff out there that just wants to blame men for everything. That is huge. It's huge. So you do have to be willing to stop doing that. It doesn't mean men don't have their work to do. Okay, let's see. There's a question, can a pain body relationship be healed? Not totally sure what you mean by that question. Do you mean you're in a relationship where you have a strong pain body? Kylie says, it feels easier in the moment to blame men. The pain body is hungry. Yes, good point. Yeah, and that feeds the pain body. Blaming men feeds the pain body. Again, not excusing the work that men have to do, not excusing unhealthy men. That's not what this is about. This is about taking ownership for our part as women. And yes, blame is easier, always easier than taking responsibility for our part. Taking responsibility for our part is really uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable work, but it's so good. I mean, it's what I live for. This is what I love this stuff. This is why I teach it. This is what I do in my life. Okay, so back to that question, can a pain body relationship be healed? So I'm thinking you mean that you're in a relationship and you have a heavy pain body and your partner has a heavy pain body, which is really common. When you have a heavy pain body, you will often attract partners who also have heavy pain bodies. Yes, but it's going to take both of you to do your individual work and couples work as well. Both are usually needed. If you have a heavy pain body and your partner has a heavy pain body, my experience is you need individual work and couples work as well. But it's absolutely possible if both partners are willing to do the work. All right. I think that's it for today. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching the replay. If you're watching the replay and you have a question that comes up, just put it in the comments and I'll come back and comment for you. Oh, looks like another comment. She says, yes, and I believe my partner has a pain body as well. Yeah, yeah, very common. It's almost impossible that if you have a heavy pain body that you're going to attract someone that doesn't have a heavy pain body, because they're not going to want to be in a relationship with you. I know that's really blunt, but it was true for me. Like, people that didn't have heavy pain bodies was not going to want to be in a relationship with me because I was going to be angry at them all the time. And so that's very common that you would attract someone with a heavy pain body. If both of you are willing to do the work, you can absolutely heal it. Absolutely 100%. It's 100% healable because it's not natural. This is pain that's been acquired. It's not natural. Okay. All right. Again, I think that's it. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.